Hello, this is London Road in Stanmore, and in the distance there we can see the underground symbol, the Stanmore station. I thought I'd just do a little video, really because I'd seen a video of someone had come to Stanmore and they went, oh, blah blah blah, obviously had never been before, didn't know much about its history, and that's quite understandable. So I thought I would just do a quick one, a couple of places that might be of interest, and it's just started to rain, so that's nice. White House Drive, which is just up from the station. It's called White House Drive because there was a house that was here which was called the White House, and it just happened to be the home for a short period of time for a certain Geoffrey de Havilland, or later Sir Geoffrey de Havilland, the aircraft designer and the man who started the de Havilland Aircraft Company, and responsible for the design of many iconic British military aircraft and civilian aircraft as well. So his house would have been, basically there would have been a driveway and the house would have been at the far end, just a single property, and that obviously lasted, I assume, until possibly late 50s, early 1960s when it was taken down and all of these maisonettes put up in its place. I'm not going to go in too close because of its private residencies. So that's that, and I'm going to pause it. I'm going to show you another British, famous British person of past. Now I'm just walking along London Road. This takes you in to Stanmore, and it has now started raining properly, so I've got my umbrella up. Just going to take you along into Copley Road, and then from Copley Road into Belgrave Gardens, and here you have some much altered 1930s, late 30s properties that may even actually be just after the Second World War. It's always hard to tell. So we're going down here now. There were at least another 2 or 4 of these towards the end, but where you can see this more modern building. But this is the thing that is of interest. So here we are. And you'll possibly make out we have a plaque on the side of the building which tells us that in fact a certain Clement Atlee lived here. This site marks the former family home, which was called Hayward, of Clement Atlee, who was the Prime Minister just after the Second World War. And there are pictures online from one of the photo agencies where you will see Clem the Gem, as people called him, in his back garden, mowing the lawn. How about that? And if I can remember, I will put that into the links on the description. Right, we're going to carry on now, battling the rain and the wind. This is mid-May, I would like to say. It's a British summertime, springtime. Lovely. Right, we'll pause and then we'll pick up in Stanmore proper. So I'll just show you, this is leading into Stanmore Broadway, as it's called. The building, the cream coloured building, back in the old days, I think it might have been a car showrooms at one point, and certainly on this side of the road, where you see that red brick building, that used to be a car showrooms as well. Long since gone, the building, and then replaced by that office block and supermarket. Just over on the other side of the road is Cotterell Cottages, and those buildings were put up in 1565. So it's got the oldest, one of the oldest buildings in Stanmore. Opportunity to capture that old shop front with its old signage. Now the next thing of interest is that shop there, which is called DR. It's a Turkish grill restaurant. That's number 28, the Broadway. And back in the early 1960s, through until possibly mid to late 1960s, that would have been called Maxim's, and it was the restaurant owned by the celebrity and entertainer Max Bygraves. How about that? Now that car alarm went off just as I walked past it, so I hope I don't get blamed for that. That building over there, which you can just see the word save on it, that was originally put up for the Automobile Association, the AA, back in the late 1970s, and it was the home of, well, the headquarters for AA right through until possibly the late 1990s, I think. No longer, they've moved somewhere else. And you get this rather nice, the Bernays Institute, which are the charming old building. So that really concludes the major sort of items in Stanmore in terms of famous people, but there were plenty of people who came from here and people who lived here. So for people like, for example, Michael Portillo came from here, and also the rock star Billy Idol hailed from Stanmore. Barbara Windsor lived here for a period of time, as did, I'm trying to remember his name now, a famous glam rock singer. I forgot his name, that's terrible. Did a song called My Cuckoo, and he did the Green Cross adverts, and I'm desperately trying to remember his name, but he lived in Uxbridge Road in Stanmore during the 1970s. So those are rather charming sort of late Victorian bank buildings there, going through some kind of restoration of sorts. And that's it. Can't think of anything else, but there were the three things. I was just walking up into Stanmore and I thought I'll just stick this on video just to give a slightly different angle to how Stanmore might be perceived. It's not really saying much about the place, it's just the people who lived here. And that's it. Thank you for watching.